Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life Transformation UK, or if you're here for the first time, welcome to Life Transformation UK. My name is Ben, and it's my mission with this channel to help you achieve your freedom through confidence so that you can start to live the life of your dreams. In today's video, I want to be talking about 5 kind of unconventional books that are going to help you to build up your confidence. And there's a lot of books out there that are strictly on the subject of confidence and self-esteem, and there's endless amounts of videos on YouTube about them. So I wanted to make one about books that aren't necessarily on the subject of self-esteem or confidence, but they have really helped me to build up my confidence over time, from a guy that was so anxious that I would hide in the bathroom between breaks at college just so I wouldn't have to see people, all the way to the person that I am now, which is a confidence coach. I make regular YouTube videos, and everything really has changed. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about how these unconventional books can help you to build up your confidence, then make sure that you watch this video all the way to the end to get the maximum benefit from it. If you do enjoy this video, if you find it useful, if you wouldn't mind smashing the like button down below, because it really helps to boost the video within the YouTube algorithm. It helps to support the channel and to let me know if I'm doing a good job as a content creator as well. So make sure that you do smash the like button if you do enjoy this video. And so, as I said at the beginning of this video, there are a lot of good books out there on confidence as a topic. Some of the ones that kind of come to mind straight away are The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. That's a great one. The Charisma Myth, anything by Dr. Aziz Gazapura. He is an absolute legend for me in terms of self-confidence. He's helped me massively through his books. I can't recommend him highly enough. But for me, a lot of my confidence did not necessarily come from learning more about confidence. It actually came from the outside work around it, the more general self-improvement. And there were 5 books that really helped me with that. In fact, there were a lot of books that really helped me with that, but these 5 books that I want to share today are the ones that had a massive impact on my life. Okay, so the first book is Mastery by Robert Greene, and this is a book that I have read I don't know how many times by now. I think I've read it about 5 or 6 times. I usually read this book at least once a year just because I always learn something new from it, and it always lets me know that I am on the right path towards creating the life that I want. So what exactly is this book all about? Well, much like all of Robert Greene's pretty amazing books, it is a book all about how to reach a certain goal. So you've got the 48 laws of power. That's all about kind of achieving power in your life. Personal empowerment, I would say, rather than kind of political power, although it can be used in that sense as well. His other book, The Art of Seduction, is all about obviously seduction. And this book is all about kind of general mastery of whatever area of life you want. And there's all kinds of interesting psychological and historical insight in there. I believe it's the origin of the 10,000 hour rule that was popularized in Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers. I think that initially came from here. But one of the key messages in this book is that it is a long-term journey. Self-improvement is a long-term journey. That's where the 10,000 hour rule came from. I'm just going to put this book aside now. When it comes to confidence, it is not simply a matter of reading an article on 10 confidence hacks and that solving your entire problem. Confidence is a life skill. It's something that needs to be worked on, and it's not something that is going to be mastered in a few hours. It takes a long time, and that's not something that I know people really want to hear, but confidence does take a while to build. It's not necessarily going to take the 7 to 10 years that it would take to master another type of skill, but it can take maybe a year, sometimes more, to completely build up that sense of total confidence in yourself, but it can be done. One of the other key things in the book is the idea of an apprenticeship, getting help, finding somebody who has done it already and following what they say, but knowing that one day you will have to go your own way. And that's what I've done with a lot of my life. Is I have had people that I have looked up to, people that I have very, very carefully studied and modeled my life after. But eventually you do find that you have to go your own way in certain things. But don't think that you have to go into this on your own. In fact, that's one of the biggest lies of the self-help industry, is that you need to do this all on your own. I'll leave a link in the description to my video on other lies that the self-help industry might be telling you. I'll have it pop up in the description up there. But at some point you will need help to achieve your goals, whether that is coaching or mentoring or going back to school or just having the support of friends and family. All that can technically fall under this umbrella of an apprenticeship and learning the path so that you can follow your own path one day. But the key thing in the book is that no matter where you are in life, no matter what advantages or disadvantages you might have, go after what you want in life, because what's the worst thing that can happen? It's always better to go after what you want than to just wish and hope. So I highly recommend it. It's great for the outer game of self-improvement. And now let's move into some other books. Okay, so that one book took a little bit longer than I thought it would, so I'm going to go through these a little bit faster. The next one is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Right, the main message of this book and why this relates to confidence is this idea of momentum. The idea that instead of it being an issue of massive action, which is what a lot of self-help gurus talk about, it's actually a matter of small, consistent daily steps. So with confidence, for example, there is no massive action that you can take that is going to completely solve the confidence problem. Confidence is a skill that is learned by practice, day in and day out for a long period of time. And at first, these actions that you'll have to take to build up your confidence are difficult. They are not at all easy, especially if you're coming from a place with almost zero confidence, like I was at the very, very beginning. You have to take small, consistent steps over time. And at the beginning, it's going to look like nothing is happening. It's going to look like nothing is working. But over time, those small changes are going to build up and compound. And when they do, you will find yourself automatically reacting to situations in a totally different way than you would have done before. You will become aware of the fact that you have changed to become more confident. So I highly recommend reading The Compound Effect. It's great for confidence and for general self-improvement as well as it being an amazing business advice book. So highly recommend you reading that. Book number 3 is The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And this book has a very, very simple message. What stands in the way becomes the way. You can think of what is standing in the way of your confidence as maybe anxiety or low self-esteem or fear of vulnerability, fear of failure, whatever it is. And we always look for all kinds of ways to get around it, and we look for these psychological hacks and tricks and tips. But the simple fact of the matter is that if you want to overcome, let's say, social anxiety, you have to face it and you have to move through it. So for me, social anxiety was a huge thing, and the only way that I was able to overcome it was by putting myself in situations where I had to face it, whether that was just going out and speaking to strangers or just making eye contact with strangers and smiling, or hanging out with people that I did not necessarily know. One of the things that I did that really helped my confidence was that I ran the biggest sports club in the university that I was at for about 3 years. There was maybe 100 or so people in there, and new members every single year, and I had to get to know all of them so that I could run the club effectively, and that really helped me with my confidence as well. But I had to face that social anxiety that was speaking in front of groups and trying to relate to other people. and taking on all that responsibility. And that really, really helped me. So what stood in the way of my confidence, social anxiety, became the path to me achieving my self-confidence. And that is the main message that I learned from Ryan Holiday's book, The Obstacle is the Way. And it's one of the books I highly recommend that every single person reads. It's all about this kind of stoic philosophy of life, and I can't recommend it enough. So I reckon I've said enough on that book. Let's move into book number 4. And book number 4 is The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. And this book is all about a very, very simple rule, which is when you know that you need to take a certain action, don't stop to think about it. Just take the action. And the way to do that is to simply, the trick to do that is to simply count down from 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just like a rocket ship blasting off of the launching pad, launch yourself into action. So if you know you need to get up and make that sales call, count down from 5. And when you get to 1, dial that number, make that call, do what you have to do. And how this works is that it just doesn't give you enough time to build up that anxious and nervous energy, because once you get to 1 and you have to take that action at 1, then at that point the anxiety is beaten, because it hasn't got a chance to make you overthink, and overthinking can really ruin your confidence. Again, that's a video that I made a little bit longer ago, so I'll leave a link to that in the description, have it pop up above my head as well. Don't let overthinking or overanalyzing a situation paralyze you from taking action. Just find out what works for you, if it's the 5-second rule or if it's a different rule, and then take the action that you need to. And then the final book is Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I highly recommend Brené Brown's books to everyone. Every single one of her books has been eye-opening for me, and this book is no different. This book is all about embracing the vulnerability, because if we are going to be going through the obstacles in life to achieve what we want, there is going to be a certain amount of vulnerability, especially when it comes to confidence, because you're putting yourself out there, and if you don't embrace the vulnerability of that, then you are going to crack under the pressure of it. And it is vulnerable to put yourself out there. It is scary. But if you can embrace that, and if you can go through it and you can let yourself feel it and still take the action that you need to, you will come out of the other end of it as a stronger person. So highly recommend reading this book. It's probably the one that relates closest to confidence, because it is all about the inner emotional side of things. So highly recommend Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. That was a difficult sentence to say. There were a lot of R's in there. But that's it. Those are my 5 unconventional books for boosting confidence. I hope you have found this useful. I do appreciate that I haven't been able to go into massive amounts of detail with every single one of them, but I do hope that you will find these books useful as well. I will leave Amazon links in the description below. Don't worry, they're not affiliate links or anything like that. I just want these books in your hands so that they can change your life. So I'll leave Amazon links in the description for those books. But otherwise, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I hope you found it useful. If you have done, please make sure to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, if you like content on self-esteem, self-confidence and self-improvement, make sure that you're subscribed, because I put out 3 videos every single week, all focused on helping you to live a life of freedom through confidence so that you can create your dream life. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Leave your thoughts and questions and any video requests that you might have in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to get back to every single comment as soon as I possibly can. But otherwise, once again, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos very soon.